Every evening at exactly 6:40, she stood at the same bus stop. Every evening at exactly 6:40, she was there. I noticed her because I passed that bus stop every day on my way home. Same place, same posture, same quiet stillness. She never paced, never checked her phone, never looked impatient. She just stood there, hands folded in front of her, eyes fixed down the road like she already knew what she was waiting for. At first, I assumed the obvious. Someone important, a husband running late, a child on the next bus, someone who always promised they'd be home soon. That kind of waiting is familiar. We've all done it. Over time, other people started noticing her too. The bus would arrive, people would get on, people would get off. She never did. Drivers stopped asking if she needed help. Regular commuters stopped glancing her way. She became part of the routine, like the bench, like the sign. And still, every evening, she showed up. One night, it rained heavily. Everyone crowded under the shelter, pressing close together, trying to stay dry. She didn't move. Rain soaked her coat, ran through her hair, pooled quietly around her shoes. She stood there like it didn't matter. That was the first time I wondered if something was wrong. A week later, I sat on the bench for the first time, not to talk to her, just because I was tired. She nodded politely, but didn't say anything. Her eyes never left the road. Minutes passed. The bus arrived. She stayed. When it pulled away, she exhaled, slow and steady, like she'd been holding her breath the entire time. "Waiting for someone?" I asked. She smiled. "Yes," she said. That was all. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. I began timing my walk home so I'd pass the bus stop deliberately. Sometimes she held a small paper bag, sometimes nothing at all. Once I noticed her straighten her coat just before the bus arrived, as if preparing to be seen. But no one ever came toward her. No one ever waved. People filled in the story for her. She must be lonely. Maybe her husband works nights. Could be her son. The explanations made us comfortable. They made the waiting make sense. One evening, the bus broke down a few stops away. We stood together longer than usual. That was when I noticed something. She wasn't watching the bus route. She was watching the sidewalk across the street, the place where people crossed before reaching the stop, like she was waiting for someone to arrive on foot. "You've been very patient," I said, half joking. She laughed softly. "I've had practice." Winter came. The days grew shorter, the air sharper. The bus stop lights flickered on earlier each evening. Still, she came. Every day. 6:40. She wore gloves now, a heavier coat. Nothing else changed. One night, buses were delayed indefinitely. An accident on the main road. People left. Some called for rides. Others walked home. I stayed longer than I meant to. So did she. "You don't have to wait tonight," I said gently. She looked at me, really looked at me for the first time. "I know," she said. Then she turned back to the road. The next evening, she wasn't there. For the first time in months, the bus came and went. The bench stayed empty. I felt a strange disappointment I couldn't explain. She returned the following day, right on time, 6:40. Same place, same posture. That was the day I finally asked the question no one else had. "How long have you been coming here?" She didn't answer right away. The bus lights appeared in the distance, brighter, closer. The bus stopped. People stepped off, people stepped on. The doors closed. The bus pulled away. Only then did she speak. "7 years," she said. I must have looked surprised. She smiled, not sadly, just honestly. "This was the last place I saw my son," she said. "He left after an argument, said he'd be back." She paused. He never was. I didn't know what to say.
she didn't seem to expect me to. After a while, she continued, I realized I wasn't waiting for the bus anymore. She gestured toward the road. I was waiting for the possibility. The next bus came, she didn't look at it. She was watching the sidewalk. I come here so that if he ever does come back, she said, he won't arrive to an empty place. The bus pulled away. She stayed, as always. Now, every time I pass that stop, I think about how easy it is to misunderstand waiting. We assume it's about arrival. Sometimes it's about keeping a promise, not to someone else, but to yourself.